Good morning, duckies! Leghorn, you're not a ducky. You look like one. You're white. Did you give me some eggs this morning? Alright, we've got 2. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, duckies. Hi, honey. You've got a fluff on your nose. You need to go dip your nose in the water and get your fluff off. Yeah. What you doing, Freckles?
Hey there, friends. Thanks for stopping by the homestead. Today we are going to start on a new adventure. Well, sort of new. We have incubated eggs before, but this is our first time to try to incubate duck eggs. So come along with me as I show you the equipment and the process, how to set your first set of eggs in the incubator. Here we go. When you start to assemble your incubator for the first time, first you need to make sure that the equipment has all been thoroughly cleaned. We did hatch eggs in this incubator 2 years ago, I believe it was the last time we used this. This is a Little Giant, I believe it's Farm Innovators is the brand on the lid there. Yes, you can see it. I believe we just got this at our local farm store. This is the base of the incubator. So as you can see, there are 2 chambers here with cutout valleys in them. These are your moisture chambers. There's a fill hole here, and I'll show you that on the front as well. There's 2 fill holes. There's a small chamber and a large chamber. These will be filled with water because you have to have a certain level of humidity in your incubator. As promised, here is the fill hole. This is fill hole number 2, as you can see there. I'll explain to you in a little while how to fill these. There's just a little plug that comes out there. You don't want to leave that hole open because that'll let your moisture out, obviously, your humidity. So you don't want your eggs, when you're ready to put them into lockdown, which I'll explain that later, you do not want them falling in the water. Of course, that would be terrible. So we have a grate, plastic grate that goes on top there. And that is where you will sit your eggs when you put them in lockdown. We'll explain what lockdown is again later, as I said. On top of the grate, this is our egg turner. Now, not every incubator is going to have an egg turner. I prefer this. It's a whole lot less work. It makes it almost completely hands-free, aside from monitoring your humidity levels every day. So what you will notice, this has its own power supply here in a little gearbox. This has a cord. You'll take it and you'll plug it in. You need 2 outlets. We're not plugging it in here, just for demonstration's sake. This will slowly turn your egg throughout the day so that you don't have to come out here and manually turn your eggs. Now, if you did not have this, you could take and just put the eggs on the grid, but you are going to have to turn them by hand 3 times a day. So, I prefer the turner. Once you have the turner in place, you're going to put the lid on your incubator, just like this. And then you're set up and you're ready to go. Now, I am not going to be incubating in this spot. This is actually our homeschool room, and they use this space for doing their schoolwork. So we need to move this to the area where we're going to put it and put our eggs inside. We have moved our incubator into its final resting place, and we've plugged it in. The lighting is terrible over here. That's why I was showing you the parts on the other side. Anyway, you can see we have it plugged in here. The thermostat is showing that it's 75 degrees. One thing I failed to mention when I was setting up the machine and showing you how to do it, you want to plug in your incubator and get it to temperature and humidity as well. I did not add water because I was going to show you the machine and I didn't want to have a mess. But it is ideal to plug your machine in 24 hours at least before you're going to be putting your eggs inside, just to make sure that it does get up to temperature, it can maintain temperature, and that it can maintain your humidity level. So that is something that you want to keep in mind. Now, you'll notice here on the display, we're up to 77.5. That light is blinking to indicate that it is trying to get up to temperature because you are obviously low. It's saying low right there. Now, one thing as well, you will see right here, this is day. This is your day counter. You can change this. Now, every incubator is going to be different. Some models may not have this at all. This is a feature I really appreciate because when you've been incubating eggs for a while, your brain starts to turn to mush and you forget what day it is unless you're marking them off on the calendar. So I have this set to 28 days. That is how long it takes duck eggs to hatch. Now this humidity level, right now it's showing 22%. I'm going to add some water in a minute and we will see how quickly that comes up. As seems to be a recurring theme with my videos, it doesn't have to be pretty to work. So you will see these fill holes right here. I showed you them before. We're gonna unplug this. Now, it's gonna be difficult to get the water down in there into those tracks like it needs to be. So what I'm going to use, this little piece. It's a 1/2 inch clear pipe. It's flexi pipe. And also this barbecue bottle to put water in. And I'm gonna squirt it in there. I will do it off camera because I'll make a mess. So bear with me just a moment. We're gonna fill the water. I said I was gonna do it off camera. I fibbed. It's easier than I thought. So I'm just gonna squirt some water down in there. See how easy that is? It's not pretty, but it works, right? So we're gonna keep squirting water in there until water starts staying in the tube. That's just kind of how I gauge it, that I know that it's full. Oh, see? Yep, it's slowing down, so we know we're getting full. We're gonna stop. We're gonna do the other side now. We did leak some water out from when we filled the other hole. It got a little overly full. So we're just gonna do it to this side. Stick it in there. Because there's the 2 separate chambers, remember, they do not touch, so we have to fill both sides here. This is the larger of the 2 chambers. So while I'm filling this, I'm going to talk to you about humidity levels. So for the first 20, I believe for ducks, oops, sorry, it's out of water. I'm going to have to refill it. I'm going to have to refill my squirt bottle. Give me a minute. Okay, we are back in business here. So the humidity levels, day 1 to day 25, you want your humidity level to be between 50 and 60% for basically any kind of egg you're trying to hatch. So right now we said our humidity level was at 21 or 22 degrees. I can't remember, I'll have to look. So we need to add water to bring that humidity level up. Let's finish filling this up here. We should be getting pretty close. All right, we're out of water again. We're gonna check and see how much we have inside here. Hold on. It was full, water was running out, so we had to hurry and plug it. So we are in good shape. It is filled up in there. Okay, we're still hovering between 21 and 22% humidity, which is fine for right now. As you can see, our temperature is coming up. We're not quite there yet, but it is getting closer. So we're just gonna let this incubator sit for a little while, and once it gets to temperature and we start seeing that humidity level coming up, we will proceed to the next step. So stay with me. While we wait on that incubator to come up to temperature, I just wanted to talk to you about a couple of things real quick. One of them being, why are we even doing this? Incubating eggs is something we've enjoyed doing for a while. I haven't done it in 2 years due to life circumstances. Things just didn't work out. But anyway, as you all are well aware, the price of eggs right now is insane, which directly correlates to the price of live birds. So we are hoping that by hatching our own, we can avoid buying day-old chicks this year. Now, one little tip I will give you, and we will also be doing this ourselves, just in case we don't have a good hatch rate. Like I told you in the last video, befriend the person at the farm store, right? So the one thing that you can do to help offset that cost just a little bit is to buy they call them mature birds, or the older birds at the store. The ones that aren't the day-old chicks, they're what's left over. You don't always get the breeds and things that you want doing that, especially with chickens. With ducks, there's usually your farm store is only going to have 2 or 3 breeds anyway, and they're all good. But anyway, we have gotten most of our chickens, besides the ones that I've hatched here ourselves. The live chicks we've brought onto the homestead were all purchased as what we call dollar birds from our farm store. So what these stores will do when the birds get bigger than what they want, they try to make room and empty those tanks out for the next batch of birds that's coming in the mail. They might be 3 or 4 days old. They might be a week or 2 old. Just depends on the store. So anyway, our ducks last year, I think we got them for $1 or $2 a duckling. And with chicks, it's usually $1 or $2 as well. We've gotten Cornish cross meat birds this way. We've even gotten turkeys this way before. So that's a good little tip for you. If you can't hatch your own eggs, or you're just starting out, check out those mature birds at your farm store. They are a great investment. I actually prefer them over the day olds. Main reason why is because they've already gotten through that first critical 24 to 48 hours of life and through the stress of the shipment. So when those birds are hatched, In the hatchery, they ship them in the mail just within a few hours or a day of them being hatched. They ship them in the mail to the farm store or to the direct consumer if they've bought them through that company. And those chicks kind of go through a little bit of shock from being shipped and jostled around and things. So you have gotten chicks that have made it through the hardest part of their life already, and they've already been turned on to food and water very well. So highly recommend the dollar birds if you cannot hatch your own eggs. Keep your eyes open for those. In order for eggs to hatch, they have to be fertile. So obviously that means that they have to have been exposed to a rooster, or in this case, they're duck eggs, so it would be a drake at some point recently. You cannot, despite what you have seen on the internet, you cannot go buy a carton of white factory farmed eggs from the store and plop them in an incubator and expect them to hatch. That will not happen. That cannot happen because those egg farms do not have roosters. They only have hens. Alrighty, we have moved on. The incubator is getting up to temperature. I'm just going to talk to you here for just a jiffy about what we're doing with these eggs. So these are duck eggs. You can see here in the carton. As you can tell, they are way too big for this carton. I am having the hardest time finding cartons that will fit a duck egg. So if you know of a source, if you will send me a link to these duck egg cartons. We've tried ordering them off of Amazon and nothing seems to fit. I don't know what the problem is. But anyway, these are very big eggs. I have a chicken egg here, just to show you for comparison how much larger that duck egg is. You can see that right there. That is a big duck egg. And you can see it's also kind of dirty. I collected this one this morning, which is the 6th of March. It's a little dirty. That's not really going to come off. It's just mud. It rained yesterday, and so ducks lay their eggs on the ground. This mud, if it was in nature, this mud would just be on there. The duckling's going to hatch just fine, totally okay. You do not want to use a wet cloth when you're cleaning these eggs. You want to use a dry cloth. Some people will even use like very fine grit sandpaper if there's like big blobs of dried manure or something on there. I'm not worried about that. I just take my clean, dry white cloth here and I just wipe the big chunks of stuff off. This is going to be totally okay. Now, one thing that I've done, not necessary, but I like to do it because it helps me keep track of the hatch rate and how far out from the time they were laid, are they the most successful. So like this one here, this was laid on March the 2nd. I have another one here that was March the 2nd as well. Then we have the 3rd, 2 on the 4th, 1 on the 5th. We did have another egg laid today, but it broke. It cracked on me. I was so sad. So I'm just going to write a number 6 on here for today. Today is March the 6th. I'm going to make a little heart there. Those of you that know me, you know that today is significant. So I won't get into that. We won't bring up sad stuff right now. But there's our little duck egg. We're going to just set it in here for now. And it won't fit at all. We're just going to set it there. And we're going to get prepped to put these in the incubator. Now, one thing I will show you, I do have these chicken eggs here. I'm not incubating these today. We're going to be incubating chicken eggs in a week from now. So I need to hold off on doing that because it takes longer for the ducks than it does for the chickens. Ducks are 28-day incubation and chickens are 21-day. So let's get started putting them in. Looky there, our incubator is up to 99 degrees even. Oh, just went up to 99.5. And our humidity is at 40%. So we are ready to roll, and we're going to put these guys in here. Okay, it's time to put the eggs in here. So I'm going to put them, you want to put them pointed in, facing down, so pointing down. Means the number is up on here in this instance. I'm going to put them on the outside edge, and we're going to skip one section between each egg because these are such big eggs. They're not normal chicken eggs. So I want to make sure they're nice and firm in there so they don't bump into the rack behind them. I've done an egg here, 2 eggs. I'm going to let my kids do a couple, and I'm going to close this up. Gentle. Nope, not there. Where'd I tell you to put it? Nope, not there. Next one over. The next one over. Yep, that's right. You gotta leave enough space. Good job. All right, I had some little helpers and we got all 7 of these put in the incubator. So I'm going to close the lid and we're going to leave them alone. All right, we've got these little guys put in there. Temperature is climbing. We're already up to 92. And one thing you want to make sure before you walk away is that you do have your temperature set correctly. I have mine set to stabilize at 99.5, which is perfect temperature for hatching these eggs. 28 days on the counter, and we're already up to 30% humidity. We were down to 21 when we put the lid back on. There it went, 31, so it's climbing up quick. That's what we want to see. All right, little guys. Hatch, hatch, hatch. We'll see you again in 7 days. All right, we got those eggs put in the incubator with a little bit of help, and we won't be doing anything else to them for 7 days. In 7 days, we will take them out and see if any of them have any development. That'll be fun, and we'll also put the chicken eggs in. So between now and day 7, I'll just be checking the humidity and adding water as I need to. Other than that, we're done for now. Thanks for coming along with us today. Don't forget to check back soon and see how our eggs are coming along. Until next time, don't count your ducks until they hatch. And we'll see you next time.